love sports.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Good late afternoon and good evening, and welcome to the Sports Page here on SuperTalk, Mississippi. Hope you and yours are doing just right. Hope that this weekend was great. I know it on the sports plateau or the sports scene, so to speak. We had a lot of movement, a whole lot of things. The state championships were played. A lot of coaching news and different things. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But the key is I'm hoping that you and your family are doing all right. For all those that are listening to us on 99.3, thank you. And on 97.3, thank you. SuperTalk Hattiesburg.com, thank you. And SuperTalk Thank you for listening to this community sports radio program, always on Mondays during drive time between 6 and 7, y'all. And we're going to be talking about a number of things, and we'll have snippets of this and that. But with us tonight is our the dude here at SuperTalk, Michael Merkins. Michael, we were just talking, y'all, right, just a little bit ago about how just the weekend, and, we 18 days away from Christmas or something like that. Mm-hmm. Drama, movement, all kinds of different things. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like you would never have written this 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
But at the same time, it's surprising, but not surprising.
Yeah.
Because of just what college sports in particular has become. This is the new norm. And that's what I was telling you. And I've been kind of waiting for it. And I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But for the last month, waiting for that stuff.
Yeah.
And sure enough. So this is it. Just be aware that just before the holidays, lots of drama.
It's nuts. And I want to see what, when we, how you kind of go through the season, what's going to happen in some of the adjustments next year. How some teams are saying, I don't want to play in a bowl. Mm-hmm. I didn't get into the CFP. I'm not going to play in a bowl. Or what's that look like for the student athlete or the coach? Are they going to make some corrections where Nick Saban is saying, you can't let the coach leave before all these things finish up the year.
Yeah.
And the coach is caught in the middle because it's the rules of what's, like if somebody comes and offer you this and that in the season or finishing up the season, you got a family too.
Yep. Yeah, you can't.
You can't sit there and say, I've said before, if Don Corleone is living in the bushes, Don Corleone picks when he wants to come give an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layers to all of that.
And if it wasn't for the early signing day and the portal opening, they need to change those dates. And this one, the season needs to be done.
Right.
Let these coaches finish it out. And then, because that's why these schools want to get the coaches in so quick, so they can, and a lot of them are going to be hired, and boom.
Yeah.
A couple days later, they're having to recruit. So I get that, but that falls on the NCAA, and that needs to change. Along with the bowl system, I really believe that a fuse was lit with these schools backing out, a long fuse. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. But that fuse has been lit, and we may be seeing going back to a handful of big bowls for the Power Five, and then that's it.
Right.
Because it just, a lot of these schools can't justify it anymore.
Well, absolutely. And I do think my hope is that you have, because of the budgets are so different, that you have a group of 4 national championship, a group of 5 national championship.
Yep.
Don't try to make the group of 5 compete with the group of 4 when the budget is $80 million and the group of 5 budget is $12 million. The numbers don't match, nor the talent matches. It's not like NCAA basketball where you can have some matchups that may match or may not match, and then you can have somebody like Penn or Bucknell or Harvard who plays a particular kind of basketball where every possession is going to be the 3 or they're going to milk the clock down.
Yep.
That might work. But you got 5-on-5 here. you got 107 versus 107, and 107 may not be the same kind of 107.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's, kids that are from 80 to 107, those 27 might be as good as anybody on somebody who's on a group of 5, talent-wise. But they're making money over there. So they're going to stay there unless they come to a school where they can play a year and then go back to the group of 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
just like the NFL. The teams that succeed, the teams that go to the Super Bowl, not only have the money to spend on players, they have a strong front office and management that a lot of these smaller schools they have great management, but they're not in that position to lead these teams to something like that. And you notice people will say, well, why hasn't this team been in the Super Bowl? Look at the history, the coaching, the front office, and the amount of money. Of course, the money comes when the success comes.
Right.
But it's very rare to find that coach that's willing to deal with that, who's successful enough to lead that team into that position. So that's what we're seeing in college football now.
Well, it's so you nailing it about it all comes circled around that coach. You talk about the NFL and you're talking about the Bears.
Yeah. Let's not talk about last night.
Well, irregardless of last night, irregardless of they win another game, that coach makes a difference in that locker room. And then here on the collegiate level, it's that coach that establishes relationships, and it's a year.
Mm-hmm.
But the backdrop is money.
Yeah. So what do these student athletes see? What do they and then that's what they experience. That's the norm. They go out into the real world. There's no loyalty anymore. Thinking about the coaches that would stay with the team their whole career, and they would have bad seasons, 2 or 3 in a row, and then have a great season, and that was fine. Everybody was happy with that.
Right.
But what does this do to the mentality of this younger generation coming up? I believe it creates an era of entitlement.
Yeah.
Because they can go where the money is.
Yeah.
And again, it's not so much. I would want a coach to choose me solely based on talent.
Right.
And know that it was about talent, not how much money they're going to offer me. And that's what's been lost. There is a purity that luckily still exists in high school football, except in Ohio, where that's changed.
Yeah.
But that purity of athleticism is gone.
Well, the only hope I have is as it relates to all the backdrop is that somebody going to come in a room and say, if you're paying $100,000 to that kid, then that's got to be $100,000 to the volleyball player who's an A student. And then a lot of this stuff will slow up. And Coach Saban's talked about it, that making it even across the top some way, somehow, because if you don't do that, then some things are outrageous. The head basketball coach at Arkansas, the former coach at Kentucky, John Calipari, said we're now having kids who are married supporting their families through NIL that are on my team. And I'm like, what? Then he says, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, couple of headlines, y'all. My goodness. That's a lot. The Golden Eagles, y'all, are going to be playing in the New Orleans Bowl on December 23rd. I'll be playing Western Kentucky. You can get ticket information at southernmiss.com. Coach Blake Anderson, the offensive coordinator, is the interim head coach. Of course, everybody knows Coach Charles Huff is now the new head coach at the University of Memphis. He's the first coach, y'all, in 37 years at the university to have a winning regular season his first year. Absolutely. First time since 1988, since Brett came down with Coach Curly Hallman. Yeah, that is the first time that's happened since the first year that you have a winning record that first year. And my goodness. So, man, love Coach Huff. Love his whole family. Love them. Just awesome, awesome people. And he's a life changer. Those boys will play the heck for him. And, we wish him the best and love serving him through FCA. I mean, he was wonderful. He was there at everything we had. And just wishing him the best. And, I told him, I said, well, I'm going to come see him. We come to Memphis everywhere. The food's good up there. And so we're going to come up there and see him. And some other stuff, Mississippi State, y'all, is bowling. Of course, y'all might have heard an hour prior to us. They'll be playing Wake Forest in the Duke Mayo Bowl. They're eligible because of their academic progress rate. They'll play on January 2nd in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kudos to our local teams that played in state championships, y'all. We had 4 of them that were playing in state championships locally. I guess within an hour of the SuperTalk studios, Hattiesburg High in Class 6A. It was Columbia in Class 4A. It was Raleigh in Class 3A and Heidelberg in Class 2A. We did get 2 champions. Columbia, the only team in the state that finished the year 15-0. They won their 2nd title in 5 years under Coach Chip Bilderback. Beating Kosciuszko. Raleigh, 14-1. Coach Ryan Higdon trading texts with him. They beat Noxubee with a 12-6 win. And it's their 2nd 3A title in their last 4 years. Kudos to them. Kudos to both Hattiesburg High and Heidelberg. Both of them played for state championships. Not winners on the school board, but winners on the field as always. When we come back, we'll check in with our good friend Sean Wansley of Jones and see what's happening on the Jones campus. The sports page continues here on SuperTalk Mississippi in just a moment.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
I think it was a good win. Obviously, for our guys to be battling, I think that's the biggest thing that I've appreciated. Our guys, the way they've prepared and where their focus has been each and every week. I thought this was a big-time example of having awesome guys on our team. They have every reason to get distracted when you have the record that we have, and for them to prepare and put themselves in a really good position to be successful on Sunday was awesome. Our guys were resilient through that whole game with a lot of factors associated with that. I thought it was a good example of 3 phases playing complementary, the way our special teams, kickoff return leads into the opening score and start the second half with an interception that leads to a score. The 4th downs, on defense, the sudden changes, we throw an interception, we force them to kick 3. And so I felt like it was just a good example of there's highs and lows in all 3 phases. And
Coach Kellen Moore talking about the Saints, y'all. The Saints beat Tampa 24-20. The Saints are 3-10. They're getting better. Yes, they are. The Saints winning. My goodness, Coach Moore. Hopefully it's a sign of good things to come. Welcome back to the sports page. Hopefully you and yours are doing really, really well. Let's check in with our good friend Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director Jones, and we hear that ambient noise behind him. Sean, how you doing?
Hey, Mitch, doing good tonight. How are you?
Doing good. What you doing, man? What you got going on?
Well, we got some basketball action tonight at A.B. Howard Gymnasium. Got a doubleheader tonight. Going to wrap up home basketball before the Christmas holiday here at JC tonight. Right now, it's halftime of the women's game, and the Lady Bobcats lead Wallace State Selma 46-22. The Bobcats having a good season under first-year coach Trista McGee. They're 9-1 on the season so far. Last week they beat Lawson State 85-64, and this Selma team, they beat them 67-45 last week. On Thursday of this week, Jones will go to East Mississippi, and that will be our last game for the women until January. They go to LSU Eunice on January the 8th. And coming up after this game tonight, our men's team, the number 11 team in the nation, Coach Newton Mealer's Bobcats, will be hosting Mississippi Gulf Coast. And the Bobcats are 10-2 on the year, and Gulf Coast is 10-1. So this is going to be a pretty good ball game tonight on paper. Jones had a couple of wins last week. They beat Lawson State 91-74 and Bishop State 97-85. And after the Gulf Coast game tonight, the Bobcats, for the second time this year, will go to Panama City Beach and play, to Florida, the Florida Panhandle, this time to Panama City Beach. They're going to play in the Gulf Coast State Classic, and 2 very strong opponents. They're playing the number 5 team in the nation, Northwest Florida on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Northwest Florida is very strong every year. And then they play the host team, Gulf Coast State, out of Panama City. They're number 7 in the nation. Play them on Saturday. Gulf Coast State beat us earlier in the year in that tournament, earlier tournament in Florida. And after those games, the Bobcats will not play again until January the 5th when they return home to A.B. Howard Gymnasium and host Southern University Shreveport. Right now it's exam week at Jones. Finals started today, and finals will conclude on Thursday. And then from December the 12th, basically through after the work day on Friday, December the 12th, we will be closed basically until January the 5th, and the spring semester will not start until January the 12th. So the students should get about a month off before they have to come back for spring semester, but we're pretty much winding it up here for the fall semester with the Bobcats tonight.
Y'all are listening to Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College, giving us a wrap as it relates to basketball, and they're getting ready to kind of play what's left in, I guess, this week, and then finish up with the men playing down there in Florida, which is going to be nice. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
That's where we all want to be right now.
Show you right. So you have that, but this past week was also National Signing Day, Sean. Jones usually has a number of young people advance to go to another level. What say you as it relates to the Bobcats, and what do they do on signing day?
Yeah, we had several young men that signed with four-year schools last week from Coach Latrell Pollard's team. A few names I can give you. T.K. Keys. Now, he's the young man out of Taylorsville who was at Southern Miss last year and transferred to Jones. He had a great 6 games for us. He was the nation's leading receiver until he got hurt and missed the last 3 games of the year. TK signed with Troy. Another young man, local, Luke Stewart, another Southern Miss transfer from Oak Grove, our punter. He signed with East Tennessee State. William Hodges, our long snapper, signed with Texas San Antonio. A couple more players, Tamarian Phillips, defensive lineman, signed with Alabama State. And Keon Harris, Dreek, they call him. He's out of Union, Mississippi. He had a couple of good years running the football, a real hard-nosed player. He signed with Prairie View. So those are just a few of the names right there. Several more will also be signing as well. Some are still just waiting to make up their minds. They've been offered by several schools, but putting some thought and time into what they want to do and where they want to go starting in the January spring semester. But once again, several Bobcats moving on to the next level in football.
My goodness. It's basketball signing day, and soon you got baseball and softball. Give us any other thing that you want to tell us about what's going on at Jones.
Yeah, baseball-wise, Coach Wes Thigpen's team, if you can believe it, they will open the season on January the 28th at Coastal Alabama North. That's just a little over a month away. And their first home doubleheader will be on February the 2nd against East Central. Coach Torrey Hughes' team, our softball team, they host Bishop State on February the 2nd in their season opener. Then they will participate in a tournament in Panama City on February the 6th and the 7th. So baseball and softball will be here before you know it. Golf, Coach Bob Harrington's team, they will open the spring season with a tournament down at Diamond Head. I believe Pearl River is hosting that tournament. Don't have Brooks Buffington's tennis schedule yet. I'm sure he'll get that to us as soon as he can. A couple other notes. Soccer had some All-Americans named last week. Shirlene King, the outstanding player from Panama. She's on the Panamanian national team, possibly participate in the World Cup next year. She was a United Soccer Coaches All-American, as was Hope Welch. And on the men's side, Matt Reed was named a United Soccer Coaches All-American. Just our soccer programs continue to shine, as they say. They've been very strong for so many years. And I think we may have talked about this last week. Coach Newton Mealer getting his 100th win at Jones.
Yeah.
And he is, I guess he would be, 102 now, but Coach Mealer joining the 100-win club at Jones. He's, of course, A.B. Howard, Coach Howard is here for 27 years. He has close to 300 career wins. And then Robert McInnes, our former Southern Miss assistant, who was the head coach at Jones for a few years, he has, I believe, about 107 wins. So Coach Mealer, with here in a few weeks, he should pass Coach McInnes for second place on the all-time list. So a lot to be proud of and thankful for with Bobcat basketball.
Man, goodness, did he get there quick. Goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Quick. All right, so how everybody can keep up with what's going on at Jones, Sean?
Yeah, the main site to go to is jcbobcats.com, and you can also go to X, Facebook, and YouTube and search Jones College Athletics for more information about Jones. And you can go to jcbobcats.com/watch and watch these basketball games tonight.
Sean, thank you so much, my friend. We'll hope to talk to you same time, same place next week. Thank you so much.
All right, Mitch. Appreciate it.
Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones, at a basketball game as the women under Coach Trista. They're doing really, really well this first initial year. And then the men ranked in the top 20. Coach Newton Miller's team, they'll play later on tonight. Also know, y'all, that the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game is this weekend on Saturday at Southern Mississippi. It's the best football players from Mississippi, the best football players from Alabama. It always alternates either in Alabama or in Mississippi every other year. It always comes to the Rock. Coach Ryan Ernest out of Laurel will be the head coach, but it always comes after the state championship weekend. Hattiesburg played for the state title, came up a little short, and so did Heidelberg. Came up a little short, but congratulations to Raleigh and to Columbia, the Class 4A and Class 3A state champions, respectively. My goodness, wow. And also, longtime William Carey girls soccer coach Danny Owens is the new head coach at Southern Miss. You might hear a little bit more about that on Crusader Talk at the top of the hour on 97.3. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on down at the river and what happened with Pearl River Wildcats and their National Signing Day. The Sports Page continues in just a moment.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
We didn't get it done, but they got a little help. But, hats off to them, man. They won it. Congrats to Coach Price. Been knowing it for a while. But we didn't play our best, and they got a lot of help. But we're going to leave that at what it is. A great year by the guys. That's not our goal to finish second. But, hey, we blessed to be where we were. It was crazy. We've been called everything. I think a lot of people have it that we lost. But, we proud of these guys, proud of the community, what we went through. And, hey, it's a good run.
That's Heidelberg's head football coach, Coach Darryl Carter. And Darryl talking about his team. And they came up a little short against East Webster, losing 28-16. And, of course, y'all will remember that Heidelberg went through something during their homecoming and lost 3 people at their homecoming back in October. So, my goodness. So, it's just something that they got to that point. And they were the defending champs. And they got there. And kudos to all the state champions and everybody that played, because it's just so hard. You can't get a state championship, y'all, out of the dollar store. So some of the narratives that has come is Coach Charles Huff, y'all. Coach is now headed to the University of Memphis, and in his last news conference that he had, Lord, he was asked a question about his time in Hattiesburg, and he talked about it. We'll have some of that on the other side of the of the break. But with us right now is Coach Seth Smith, the head football coach at Pearl River Community College. Hello, Coach. How you doing? Merry Christmas.
I'm doing good, Mitch. I hate to say this. I actually forgot about the phone call, and I was eating soup, but I'm ready to talk right now.
It's all good, Coach. It's all good. Merry Christmas. I hope that all the Smiths are doing really awesomely well. I hope y'all doing good.
Yeah, Smiths are good. Mama's happy. All 4 boys are back under the same roof. So the big boys are home from college, so it's been a good week so far.
Shut up. My goodness. Wow, that's so awesome, awesome, awesome. Also awesome, y'all had, 12? Is it 12? 12 guys, young men that have transitioned out of the program, and, man, they're going a little bit of everywhere. Talk a little bit about that, Seth. I mean, that's awesome.
We had 13, and we'll have 2 more signing over the next week. But
shut up! Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, record-wise, last year stunk. It was an embarrassment. But the reality is, and this isn't an excuse, in 22 years of coaching, I haven't ever been a part of losing 8, 9 guys for the season. And by the midway through the year, by the 3rd game, we had already lost both quarterbacks. So it was just
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of those things you really can't control. But like I told the team, it ain't our plan, it's God's plan, and we're going to trust it and keep fighting and try to keep getting better. But I say all that to say, if you look at our record, you would think, boy, they stunk. Well, our record did stink, but we actually had really good players, which is why you're seeing so many of those guys get a chance, to go on to the next level. So just super happy for those guys.
Y'all, I'm just telling y'all, I mean, being around a college football team as we are, that quarterback, it's something. And coaches, they don't have any they can't they can't change the narrative about how important that guy is that takes that snap or the person after. And if they go down, it changes the whole landscape of everything. I'm just telling y'all that because we've we've experienced it. We saw it at university. We see it a little bit of everywhere when that person goes down. And kudos to your team that kept fighting and fighting through the year. Talk a little bit about this group, though, that is a little bit of everywhere. You're sending them to D1A, D1AA. They're a little bit of everywhere and to some really great programs, Seth.
Yeah, again, this is crazy to think right here. So there's 3 players of the year in the South. There's the special teams, the defense, and the offense. And we had 2 of the 3, which again.
Wow.
Because our record stunk. Well, I'm telling you, we had really good players. We had the special teams player of the year, the defensive player of the year. Jalen Anderson, who was the defensive player of the year, was also the number 1 edge rusher in the country. He went to Florida State. And this is the part that's awesome. I don't have long, but I get excited when I talk to you.
Yeah, that's all good.
So Jalen Anderson is a kid out of Slidell High School. When he came to us, he had 1 NAIA offer. That was it. But he's a testament of hard work and development. So he came to us with basically no offers, and now he's leaving with opportunity to go play at Florida State. Coach Boykin brought in a receiver from another JUCO in Kansas. He came to us with no offers, worked his tail off, wound up being the top receiver in the country, junior college, and he's going to West Virginia. So, I mean, we've got him going from Florida State to West Virginia. I'm a huge Delta State fan. I like Coach Cooley. We sent like 4 guys to him. We've got a linebacker going to Southeastern. We've got kids at Coastal Carolina, Charlotte, Old Dominion, like, to your point, all over. So I'm happy. I mean, ultimately, that's why they play junior college football, is to try to get an opportunity for that next step. And to see them do that and work hard to get that opportunity, I'm just happy for them.
Y'all are listening to Coach Seth Smith, the head coach of the Wildcats of the Pearl River Community College football program, man, one of our favorite folks. And, Coach, I went on Friday, November the 28th. That was actually my 38th wedding anniversary. But I went over there, and I went to wedding rehearsal for one of your coaches and one of my favorite people. And talk about the 2 new folks that you got that's going to be on your staff, and one of them is, he ain't on my taxes, but he like one of ours.
Yeah, all right. Well, so there'll be 3, but I can't let the cat out the bag on the 3rd one. So we'll talk about the first 2.
Okay.
Man. So the one I call him old Hank Dog. Love him.
Yes, sir.
I've known his dad since I was a young coach. And his dad's got one of those radiant personalities that just kind of draws. Always loved his dad.
Big
Always
Brad.
have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I've known Carter since he was a young boy. He didn't really know me, but I used to keep up with him, watched him win a state championship, then watched him. He came here and played baseball, football, then went and played football at Southern. He's everything you want. You know, I could write a list on some things on what not to do since I've taken this job, but one thing I've learned you better do is recruit.
Yeah.
And Coach is a magnet for kids.
Yeah, he is.
He worked with Coach Hall for 4 years. He's got some experience in the junior college, so he knows what it takes to be successful at this level, and he knows how to recruit. And my favorite part about him, not only does he know how to recruit, Mitch, when he gets that recruit, he can develop that recruit. So he's the best of both worlds. And then Coach Cliff Collins, our new defensive coordinator, man, I mean, all you got to do is just say 5-time national champ. It could end right there.
Wow.
I mean, the man,
Wow.
He's a winner. But again, it goes back to that R word, recruit. He's done it. He's done it for over 20 years. He's been successful at many different places. You know, he's coached Division I football, junior college football, and just another guy. Again, he's got a radiant personality. He's got an energy and a juice to him that kids want to be a part of. And so I'm pumped to add them to our family, and just honored and fortunate to have the administration we have to help us get this thing lined up and give us a shot to get it right. So I don't know, just a very Merry Christmas, I guess would be the best way of putting it. Very grateful.
So, Seth, you're talking about recruiting. I know about this time of the year. I mean, I guess now that you've gotten your kids that have transitioned from the program, now it's time to restock the barn. What do you think's out there, man? Do you got some good prospects you think will be future Wildcats coming in?
Oh, we got a lot. You know, with the the crazy thing is the ones we want, everybody wants. So
right.
You got to work hard to get them. You got to let them know you love them, and you got to sell them a vision and make sure that they understand the vision's genuine, and it is. You get them on campus and show them what, you know, where they are now, what they could become, and kind of lay the plan out there and try to get after. So for us, you know, last year record-wise was, man, it stunk. But as crazy as it sounds, Mitch, I mean this, I wouldn't trade it. Because when we get to the other side of this, and we will, it's going to make all those growing things we went through so worth get to that promised land. We're almost out of the wilderness, and when we get to the other side of it, it's going to be worth it.
We believe it. We believe it. We believe it.
I'm just excited about the guys we'll be bringing in, but really, honestly, just a great time to be a Wildcat. It really is.
Well, I want to thank you, Coach, for taking some time out, man, and just us talking ball and excited about, you know, really the future and what's going to happen with, you know, you got some new guys coming in, got some new staff, and as you know, continue to build on those and that culture you got brick by brick. And I really, really appreciate you taking time, and Merry Christmas to you, brother. I hope to see you. Are you coming up to Mississippi, Alabama? Can you do that? Can you come up to Mississippi, Alabama, or are you?
We can't go to the game, but we'll be at the practice. So if you'll be at any of the practices, I'll see you there.
I'm gonna come, man. I'm gonna come on and hug your neck at one of them practices. I'll be coming through there every once in a while just to say hello. So,
if you don't mind, that'd be awesome. I'm fixing to heat this soup back up and eat it, but I'm gonna end with this, and I mean it. I'm not just saying it's gonna talk to you. There's nobody better at what you do than you. I mean, you've been gifted. I've watched you since I was young. You know, God gives us all different gifts and ability, and you got one that shines. So thank you for having me.
Well, I'm humbled to have you, my brother, and I look forward to seeing you in just a few days, Doc. We're going to see you soon, Coach. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, Mitch, and have a Merry Christmas.
Love you back, Seth Smith. See you soon. Coach Seth Smith, y'all, the head coach of the Pearl River Wildcats, and y'all, the coach of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, y'all, is going to Memphis, and we love him, Coach Charles Huff. And this is what he said in his last news conference about his visit to Hattiesburg and his first season at Southern Miss and what that meant to him. And this was his response in the news conference.
A fan base, a team, a staff that was all in, that was all in to do everything we can to give these kids a chance to be successful. It was really good to be supported. It was really good to feel like, hey, because we didn't convert on third down doesn't mean that people are going to lose their jobs. Now, again, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but the understanding of what we're building, the understanding of the work that was put in was refreshing. And for me, it was probably the first time in a long while where the support matched the expectation. The support and the message and the backing matched where we were working toward going. And I think that's just the start of it.
My goodness, Coach. He took us from 1-11, y'all, to 7-5. And we still got a bowl game. The first one we've had, only the second one in 6 years. And y'all, flipping the script meant a whole lot. And we're so glad to have him for that time. And we're just, like Michael said, we're in this time, y'all. And for Southern Miss and for schools like it, you know, man, if you're successful, oftentimes there are those that have bigger budgets that are going to come, but it does not change who the coach is. It doesn't change how those kids respond to that coach either. When we come back, we'll cross the T and dot the I, and the sports page continues in just a moment.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 Super Talk, Mississippi.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Super Talk, Mississippi. Man, we're rolling and going. Michael Merkins is with us, and know that Crusader Talk is at the top of the hour. So anything that you want to know about William Carey Athletics and how they win over there and all their 17 sports and these kinds of things, that's at the top of the hour on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com and 97.3. Don't forget, y'all, the Mississippi Alabama All-Star Game, y'all, is on Saturday, kickoff at noon. We've got some things in FCA we'll be doing. We'll be going to the practices and stuff and seeing coaches and stuff, and we'll have a breakfast for all the All-Stars that's exclusively for them and their coaches on Saturday morning. So we're looking forward to that. Also, I want to thank all the folks that have helped us. This is we have a FCA party on next Monday for with the Hattiesburg Police Department that we do every year. 10 years that we've been doing it for families that have been affected by violent crime in Hattiesburg. And I want to thank just some special people, some of the wives of our USM football staff and their families who are adopting all our kids. This is a different kind of Christmas they're going to have. Some of them from homicide, from abuse. It's kind of crazy hearing the stories, but we do a Christmas party with them. We have food, Santa Claus gifts. We present the gospel to them. It's something that we do every year, and it makes our Christmas. I want to thank everybody. Also, too, as we say during the month of December, if you have a church or a nonprofit or any organization that you love, if you got an end-of-the-year donation, if something, a little bit of something will always help. And that more, like 40% of a lot of budgets and nonprofits and churches are during the end of the year. So for us in FCA, you want some more information about it, you can go to FCA of Southeast Mississippi on Facebook. You find our address and how you can mail something, or you can go to SoutheastMSFCA.org, SoutheastMSFCA.org, or you can email me at mitchellwilliams@fca.org for more information. But give to somebody, give to something, and it'll help. Even if it's just your talent, that'll be fine. But if you got some resources or something at the end of the year and you got something, it will really, really, really help. Y'all, I've been stuck on something, and I wanted to talk about this in our closing moments before we leave. How about if we talked about weak being the new strong? How about that? Weak being the new strong. I'm trying to finish this book with Craig Rochelle saying it's called Fight, Winning the Battles That Matter Most. It's an old book. And he talked about in this chapter about how he was trying to clean his driveway, and he had blisters, and his back started to ache, and his face started to turn red. And then a neighbor powered by, smiling joyfully, and said, "You need help?" And he brought his tractor and cleaned all the stuff out, and not a flake of snow on the concrete was left after he got some help. And he was struck by the contrast that his shovel and his limited strength did not work. A tractor and a skilled driver's strength did. And fighting life's battles works the same way. This is 2 Corinthians 12, y'all, verses 6. And it says, you remember this? This is what Paul writes. Even if I should choose to boast, I would not be a fool because I would be speaking the truth, but I refrain so no one would think more of me than is warranted by what I do or say. Verse 7 says, or because of these surprisingly great revelations, therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. For my power is made perfect in weakness. He finishes up in verse 10, said, that is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I'm weak, then I am strong. That is the base scripture to how about weak being our strong? And 3 things to consider, y'all, as we head toward the holiday and maybe resetting in 2026. Turn I want to into I want God. Whatever it is for you. Maybe we just start to feel that tug, and maybe we all oftentimes say, I want it. Maybe we'll catch ourselves and say, Lord, I just want you. And then turn I deserve it into I deserve death. How about that? It's kind of weird, huh? Is that strong? What did you make? Nothing. We owe him everything. He made everything. For everything we have, we owe him. Maybe we should stop and say, I don't have to serve you, Lord. I really want to serve you. Turn I want it into I want God. Turn I deserve it into I deserve death. And then turn I can handle it into I can't handle it without God. Wow. My goodness, weak being the new strong. What kind of strength do you want to fight with, y'all? Your feeble strength or God's unlimited, unmatched power in these crazy days? How about us all admitting that we can say, Lord, I want it, and then turn I want it into I want God. We can turn I deserve it to I deserve death, meaning I want to serve you. And then turn I can handle it into I can't handle it without you. We are weak. God is strong. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. Satan loves to make us weak. God loves to make weak men strong. The question is, will we let him? From all of us to all of you, we hope that that's good for you, guys. 2 Corinthians 12, verses 8 through 10. Read it sometimes. We'll hope to talk to you, y'all. Same time, same place next week. Encourage somebody on SuperTalk. 97.3 is Crusader Talk. All right? Take care, everybody. God bless.